difference. Another thing about the red pill advice is they say that as a woman ages, her body count is so high now, and therefore we don't want a girl that's slept around with so many people. We want a young, fresh girl. Let me break it to you, boys. The average 23-year-old girl has slept with more men than the average 53-year-old woman. Let that sink in. We're living in a time, and I know this because I used to be a teacher for many years, and I couldn't believe the sexual promiscuity amongst 14, 13, 12-year-old girls, because here's what they had. They had access to Snapchat. They could send nudes of themselves to older boys or whatever it is from the age of 11, 12, nudes or whatever it is. Well, it's technically child pornography. They would start so young, and they're living in an era where there's no negativity attached to sleeping around. It's seen as liberating. So by the time a girl is 23 years old, I promise you she's slept with more men than a 53-year-old woman, because a 53-year-old woman grew up in a time where she was shamed for sleeping around. There was no sexual liberation. There was a sanctity attached to sexuality. A 22-year-old grew up in a time where Snapchat, twerking, wearing promiscuous clothes, going out, being on social media was all normalized. So if you think that, I'm going to be with a 21-year-old, she's going to have low body count. Guys, what world do you live in? What world do you live in? She is now, the average 22, 23-year-old, especially if she has Instagram, has access to more men and the availability of more men than any 50-year-old woman has ever had. She has more validation, more likes, more comments from a man than a 50-year-old has ever had in her entire life. And you're telling me you're choosing a young woman because she's going to be less sexually promiscuous. Oh my goodness. Guys, sometimes you're so dumb it hurts my soul. Like, it actually hurts me, because these girls are growing up on pornography. They're having threesomes by the time they're 19. And you're telling me she's going to be less promiscuous. You're so naive. So naive. You're so lucky you have me to tell you this, because honestly, I'm like a sister to you guys, because the way I'm whistleblowing these girls, and you come for me and tell me like I'm crazy, but you are so lucky to have me, honestly. So generally speaking, the whole age gap thing, I am never going to deny that men are attracted to fertility and youth. Absolutely, they're attracted to it. But if you want to build a connection, which the red pill advice never teaches men how to build connection and how to build emotional intimacy, but if you want to build a real connection with a woman, don't use women as status symbols. Don't use them as a shortcut to looking like a hot guy or looking like a successful guy. Use women as a way and a tool of somebody who allows you to completely be yourself, somebody who you can truly connect with. And in that process of connecting with a woman, you will start reconnecting with yourself.